What's up, everyone? Joey here. I figured I would share this because it is a little on the technical side for the average PC user to do with cluttered save games in Cyberpunk 2077 on PC. The save games can get really bad, like, 8 copies of autosave, 8 copies of quick save, 3 manual saves. You end up just with a horrible load game section. Um, and I figured out this bug, or I don't know if it's a bug, but basically when you delete a save game with Steam Cloud enabled, it does not instantaneously tell the server what you've done. Like it does not sync your game and the cloud to what you've done to your game. Like, you're synced with the cloud, right? So if you delete an autosave, it should delete it from the cloud instantly, and it doesn't do that. So what it does is, because of this delay, when you delete like 3 saved games, it's doing the reverse. When you go to close your game, it resyncs with the cloud on closing and restores everything you deleted. Like it only goes one way. It'll download from the cloud, but it won't upload your changes to the cloud. And this is like a really bad bug. So I'll just give you an example. And this is separate to the cross save checkbox, which you can change in game. But that's not such a big deal. Like you can kind of just it's off by default. But the cross-platform saving, if you do play between a console and a PC or something like that, you may want to keep that enabled. But I just found that the cloud saves are bugged, and that'll cause a really cluttered save. So that's under gameplay cross-platform saves if you use that. But I recommend keeping it off if you don't use it. So if you look at my save games now, like I've got my old save from vanilla, which is this one, level 50, and then I've got my new save, which is a manual save, and then I've got 2 quick saves and 1 autosave, and that's basically how I like it. Like I don't want a million things. I can kind of see where I'm going. You got the level, that's enough to keep track. And this is what happens when you enable cloud saves. And I'll just show you this real quick, this bug. So I'll re-enable it, and when I re-enable it, it has a file conflict. Some files conflict with versions in the Steam Cloud. Click to resolve, and you can see here now, this actually took a while. Earlier I wasn't getting this option, earlier this morning, and now it is letting me, this is actually fixed. This is the bug I was talking about. It was only letting me download from the cloud, which restores the games I've deleted. Now that I waited a few hours, like, see 9:47, now my local saves are the last one. So you see this hard drive button? So you pick which ones you prioritize. So your save games in the Steam Cloud will be overwritten by the files on this device. That's what you want. But if you don't get this option straight away, re-enabling cloud, like clicking to fix the conflict, it won't actually have file conflict. It'll just restore everything. And as you can see, if I look on the cloud, there's 168 MB in there. There's no way that like 5 saves is 168. So these are what I want to get rid of. So there is a time difference when you delete with this unchecked. That's what you got to do. You got to uncheck this, delete all the save games you don't want, wait a few hours, and then run the game. So my game's still running, and then enable it, and that's where you get the file conflict where you can actually fix the problem. So yeah, I actually troubleshooting live. You can actually see me fix the problem. So now it should sync that I've deleted all those. Well, hopefully it's syncing. I've deleted all those unwanted. There was like 20 of them, like literally auto saves and quick saves. So if I go out of this now, we'll see if it fixes it. I want the local save. Who cares about the time? Like local save is what you want to prioritize. And the option you choose not to keep will be overwritten. So I'm not choosing to keep the cloud saves because they're unwanted. And we'll see if it fixes it, or if it's still bugged. I don't know. There we go. Okay, so now when I relaunch it, hopefully, like, sorry I couldn't show you my actual problem. Like, I actually just had like a long list of saves. It just looks ridiculous. It was just tons and tons of auto saves and quick saves. But we'll see if it's fixed. And if it is fixed, then you'll know the solution is to turn off autosaves and give it a few hours before you re-enable it with the game running. So if I go to load, yes. So that's fixed. This is how it should look, how I want it to look. But you may think, okay, well, I've got 5 quick saves, or I've got 8 quick saves, and I only want 1 or 2. So if I continue my game, I'll just show you this other fix that you can do.
So then, did y'all hear about that
I can remember how to tutorial. I've done a tutorial on this, but I'm just doing it live again for version 2.0 to show that it still works. How good is the game? So I'm going to quick save. You see in the top middle of the screen? That's once. That's twice. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm pretty sure it lets you have like 5 plus. Now, if I go to load game, I've got quicksave 0 and quicksave 1. Because I've set in the config files, I only want 2 quicksave slots. So it just overwrites the last, the oldest quicksave. So if I save once, it'll overwrite the older one, and then if I save again, it'll overwrite. It does it in order, so you can kind of have 3 or 4 or 5. And autosave, I've got 2 autosave slots, but I haven't been playing since I did the fix for how many autosave. And the manual save is just self-explanatory. You'll have as many as you want, depending on how often you use the manual save button. So when I go to save for manual save, I can create a new manual save, or I just save over the top of my old one for this character to update it, and it'll just stay like that. There is a way to fix it so that you don't have 15 and 14. Like if you've had many manual saves and you want to have it like 0 and 1, you can go into the users folder and find CD Projekt Red, Save Game CD Projekt Red, and change that to be a 0 and a 1 if you want it to look really clean. Because as you can see here, my quick saves are 0 and 1, and my autosave is 0. So you might want to sync like manual save 0 and manual save 1, whatever. It doesn't really matter, but if you want a 1 and a 2 on them, I'll show you how to do that as well. So I'll just quickly show you these fixes because it is really handy, and they don't give you it in the base game. I don't know why they don't just make it a function in the settings where you can just set the number of autosave and quick save slots. That would save a lot of trouble. So first off, I'll show you how to rename the save folders or whatever they are. And I hope this works. This is actually me winging it. I haven't actually bothered to do this kind of fix before. So first time attempting it, go into your main drive, users, username, and then there's a saved game folder with CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk 2077. And as you can see in here, we've got all those saves that we were just looking at, and the folders for manual save have a 1.4 and a 1.5, so 15 and 14 on them. And if you go into them, there's nothing, it doesn't show any unique identifier. It just seems to be based on the folder naming that allows you to change that. So I can basically change this to maybe a 1 and a 2, something like that. And that should, I didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to delete it. I'll set that to a 2, and we'll see if that takes effect. But first, we'll go into the game folder. So wherever you've got that saved, mine is C drive, program files, x86, Steam, Steam apps, Common, Cyberpunk 2077, and then go into the, where is it? Engine, config, platform, PC. No, that's not it. Oh, wait, it is. Sorry. Engine, config, platform, PC is where you set the number of save slots, and there'll be 2 files in here. If you can't see the .ini, you may need to click View, like this is on Windows 11, and show file name extensions. Or if you're on Windows 10, go into at the top somewhere you can find an Options button, and that's bring up the old school menu where you can go View as well and hide extension of known file types, and you can uncheck that box, and that'll allow you to see the .ini, which isn't too important really, as long as you just know what you're doing. Which is you want to copy this rendering file because rendering.ini only has 1 line in it. Level of detail, decals, hide distance 0, and this was recreated with the update. So you want to copy that, so Control C or right click copy, and then paste it to make a copy of it, and then rename it to user. And if you copied rendering, you don't need to worry about the file extension. It'll already be in any file. You just want to rename it to user because that means you're putting in your own commands, and then copy and paste this down in the comments. It's it's in brackets, but basically it's 3 lines that allow you to set your number of save slots and number of quick save slots, and you can put them to whatever number you want. I'm not sure about super high numbers, but low numbers are fine. So like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, whatever you want, and then save it. So I'll just try opening that with Notepad. Let me, yeah. Cool. So it should look like this. You can see it a bit better. Sorry, I'm on ultra wide, so for your 1080p users of 1440p, it might be a bit small. So yeah, you just want to set that up, file save. And then the secondary issue is that you also might notice when you're playing the game, like especially in open world, you'll get the odd hitch and stutter. There's 2 causes of that. One cause is HDD mode being off because the game is optimized for super fast PCIe Gen 4 drives, not Gen 3 or slower. So on my Gen 3 NVMe, which is 3500 megabytes per second, I still get hitching with HDD mode disabled. But the good thing is with HDD mode disabled, it also gives you more variety of NPCs and higher texture and driving quality of the textures. When you enable HDD mode, which is for slower drives, you'll have less stutters, but the NPC variety will be less, so you'll see more duplicates, especially on high crowd density, and you'll also see the level of detail when driving will be slightly lower, so you get a little bit more pop in and stuff like that, like texture streaming popping in. But it eliminates the hitching, apart from another source of hitching, which is autosave. So autosave is on a timer. By default, I'm not sure what the timer is, but I know that you can adjust it to a maximum of every 30 minutes instead of every 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever the default is. And the way you can access that option, so for that user.ini, just file save it after you've copied and pasted and adjusted your number of quick save and autosave slots. File and save that, and that's fine. You don't have to worry about that anymore. It'll be set. That'll automatically load because any file in this folder will load when you launch the game. And then go back out to Cyberpunk and go into R6 config settings and options.json, or it'll just be options if you don't have the file extension showing, and also open that with Notepad, and then press Control F and autosave. I can't remember. There's another word on the end. Autosave interval. So you can type in the whole thing, or just type autosave. It's the first. Make sure the direction is going down. Find next, and it'll go to that. Like, I don't think there's many. It's all in the same section. Yeah, it's only one section with all the autosave settings. And if I zoom this out so you can see a bit better, where did I go? I'm lost now. I'll go just search autosave again. Go up, because I resized the window. Okay, so you can see here there's a section called Autosave Interval. So if you aren't sure, just type in add interval. It doesn't matter if it's lower or uppercase, and just search up or down until you find Autosave Interval section. And you can see here I've set mine to true, is visible. So the visibility in the in-game menu defaults to false. I do not know why. It doesn't make any sense. They're just hiding settings from users, which are really handy. And you just change that to true, and you'll get all these options. I don't think they've added longer time interval options, because you can see here that the HUD only has these supported. I don't know if there's a 4. You could try. Like you could try adding the line in, but I recommend just changing is visible to true, and then you'll have this slider in the in-game menu that lets you pick 5, 10, or every 30 minutes. And if you quick save like me, like use F1 and 2 a lot, you'll find that you might only need that 1 or 2 auto saves every 30 minutes or so as like a backup. So when you really mess something up and you need to go back, like, being able to go back 30 minutes and having 1 or 2 auto saves is usually enough, because you can't make a mistake and keep playing for 30 minutes. Normally you realize within 10 or 15 minutes what you've done. So anyway, change is visible from false to true, and then make sure you leave the comma. You're only changing this word, and then file save. And then I'll just show you the changes in game, and we'll also see if everything else took effect, because we did change the numbering of the manual save folders. We'll see if that actually worked, because as I said, I haven't actually tried doing that. I assume that would do that, because that's the only difference in the save game folder. And I'll just show you these changes live. Okay, so load game. Let's see here. Manual save 1 and manual save 14 and manual save 2. What the heck happened here? Oh, no, it's done it. It's done it. I think what happened here is because I've got cloud save enabled, it saw that the 14 and 15 were gone because I edited them. And this is what I mean with the cloud save. It's like delayed. So if you make changes and the cloud save sees that you've deleted or modified any of your saves, it will just restore the old saves that you deleted because you got cloud saves enabled. And technically it should be the other way around. If you change something, it should sync with the cloud save real time, and it doesn't sync. There's like a big delay. So what I'll do to fix that is I'll go to properties in my Steam and uncheck Steam Cloud, and then give it a few hours. Like I'll delete those extra save files. So basically it did rename them. It did work. So my manual save, which was it? Manual save 14 resaved as manual save 1, and then manual save 15 or whatever it was. Yeah, 15 resaved its manual save 2. That's how it's supposed to be. And these two, 15 and 14, were added back by the Steam Cloud. So just ignore them. I can just delete them to make my folders look cleaner. So yeah, that's confusing. The cloud saves like really makes it seem complicating. It's very straightforward. So as you can see, I've got manual save 1 with my level 50 that I haven't been playing, and I've got manual save 2 with my most recent new character, and then I've got the 2 quick saves and an auto save, and then in the settings under, is that under gameplay? If I scroll down, I should be able to find Autosave Interval, which was added. We made it is visible, and we can change that to 30 minutes is probably better, and you won't. If you have it every 5 minutes, you'll literally get a hitch depending on your SSD or hard drive and what you're doing in the game. Like if you're driving when it autosaves, you'll definitely get like a little hitching. And so you want to set that as high as possible just so that you minimize those hitches. It is normal, but you minimize them. And then if you really like, if you're on a normal SSD, like not an NVMe drive, and you're getting noticeable like free roam hitching even if it's just like frequent, if it's frequent, then definitely turn HDD mode on. But just beware that it has a serious impact on the crowd density setting under graphics. If you have HDD mode on with graphics crowd density on high, you will see the same NPC like freaking 10 times in one area. It's really bad. And I just wanted to re-explain. I explained it in my last video, but someone might stumble upon this. And since I'm explaining settings, it really does help to know what the setting does. It increases the number of NPCs, but it'll only give you unique NPCs if you have HDD mode set to off. So basically, off is SSD, like high-speed NVMe mode. And only the highest speed NVMEs can support streaming in all these unique NPC textures. Or that's the way they've done it anyway. It's the way they've optimized it. I wish they didn't do it that way. Like there should be another way that they could do it, like the quality. Maybe it's to do with texture quality too. But basically, you turn this mode on, and then what it'll do is, because the crowd density is on high, it still tries to create a lot of NPCs, but it'll just duplicate the textures. So you end up with like 5 of the same exact NPC walking around, and it breaks immersion. And even on medium, you'll still see 2 or 3 of the same NPC spawning. Like they spawn out of your sight, but you'll just see them walk into view, like you're standing in a busy area, and you'll just see like 3 of the same NPC walk past. And so you actually get better immersion setting this down if you really need to run HDD mode on, and just deal with the fact that it's not a busy day every day. Like just pretend, like you can role play, and you can just see, you can just imagine that everyone's at work, and there's not so many, there's some event, half the city left to some punk music concert somewhere, whatever. But if you do have a decent, or if you don't mind the odd hitch, like it's not too bad on my NVMe Gen 3. I'm running a Adata SX8200 if you want to like look into that. I also put my full specs in the video description, so I don't mind running high, and then I keep HDD mode off. But if I was running a slower SSD, noticing lots of hitching, even with the autosave interval set to max, then I would assume that it is to do with the texture streaming and all that. And the only other way you can minimize that is by reducing the amount of bandwidth the game needs, like the amount of texture streaming that's going on. And the only other way to do that, apart from crowd density, is to set quality of textures lower. So wherever that setting is, I can't even find it. Do we have texture quality? It's all the way at the top. Yeah, it's like the main setting. So it reduces the look. But again, if you're not on a super high-end system, or if you're running just like a 500 MB speed SSD, medium might be a worthy sacrifice just to get the smooth gameplay. Okay, and I'll just show you this. This is just, I find it hilarious because this is how they've optimized it. It's like the big 2.0 update, right? I'll turn HDD mode on, and because it also makes a huge difference when you're driving fast and you drive through like a town. Even on my system with the 7900 XTX and 5800 X3D, doesn't matter what settings I'm running, if I turn this off and I drive through a town really fast, because of my NVMe and the way they've optimized it, I will get a hitch as I enter the town. Like even the starter nomad town, the little town, where the police officer is, if I was speeding in and out of that town, I'll get a hitch every single time. And the only way I was able to stop that hitching with this, like, is to turn this on, HDD mode, so slow HDD mode, and then it didn't hitch anymore. And there's hardly any NPCs in that town, which is a bit weird. So it's like the way that they stream, maybe it loads more of the surrounding area at once. But as you can see, less street detail while driving fast would mean, like you can see the description on the side, less street detail while driving fast would mean less texture streaming, less load on the memory and the SSD and you know, on your memory subsystem. So less data is being moved in real time, and that would explain it. Like your lower detail, so less data, doesn't hitch anymore. But anyway, I thought this is really interesting, so I'll set that on, like I'll apply it, and then I'll show you the crowd thing, because it was actually good. At the start of the game in Nomad, I was driving through town, I'm like, oh yeah, HDD mode's awesome, and no more hitching when I speed through these areas. And then I had crowd density on high, and I got to the apartment complex, and it was just ridiculous. Like,
Hey,
I'll
everyone.
just show you.
Feels great to have you back.
It's just,
So then,
you don't
did y'all
expect
hear
it, because
about
the
that
description
Nagasaki
says less
aircraft
NPC
carrier docked
variety,
in Night City?
which okay, I don't mind if I don't see as many of unique NPCs, but I didn't think it meant duplicate 5,000. I'm exaggerating, but duplicate NPCs left and right. So I've got HDD mode on. If I just walk over here somewhere, you'll be able to pick it out really easily. You'll start seeing. Not yet. No, they're unique.
More like a goddamn death sentence. Tell him.
Walk over here. Oh, they didn't call you. Pretty sure they wouldn't have. Over here. Just wait here a little bit as they spawn in. There we go. So you can pick out when you see it. It's like a matrix thing. So you see that girl with the tattoos and the pink pants running away? I think we might see more of her.
Hey, watch it.
So there is the same girl with the tattoo and the pink pants. And the longer you stay in an area when you have these two settings enabled, like the high crowd density with HDD mode, the worse it gets. Like, just wait a bit. Because they're all spawning in now. It can even be worse if you quick save and quick load, like after setting it. So I just quick saved and quick loading. You can see what my loading times were like. And now we might, yeah, see all the NPCs here just disappeared. So now we might start seeing the really noticeable, but it'll change. It won't be the same girl anymore. We won't see two of her. We're going to start seeing, I'll see if I can pick it out. Bit. Might have to wait till the daytime because it is harder to pick out at night because everyone's like dark. We'll be able to do it. What is that? What the heck? Never seen that. It's crazy. I didn't even do anything. Over here. Okay, there it is. You might have noticed it. We're gonna see this NPC everywhere now. This blue-haired, trousers and dress shirt. People are gonna freak out. I'm pretty sure we're gonna start seeing it. Walk around here again. Oh no. It's the big guy with the striped pants, sorry. So we're gonna see lots of him, possibly. Just gonna wait a bit longer. It's hard because the crowd's freaked out and they all ran away. And you have to kind of like play a little bit. Unless the setting didn't stick because, you know, Gamers Nexus also said settings haven't been sticking as much. Can you change them? It seems like there's more variety at night, or I'm just not seeing. Oh no, cowboy hat guy. Cowboy hat guy. So there's another duplicate. But it can start getting really, really bad with exact same models. You may just need to run around up here a little bit longer because some of the NPCs are acting weird, eh? Like, why are they just walking so fast? Right here. There's cowboy hat guy again. There's another. Maybe nighttime has a different vibe. Like it's a bug, like to do with the time of day. No, there's cowboy hat guy again. There's another one. So yeah, we're starting to see more duplicates. Maybe we'll see more of him, but it depends on the zone too. I'll stay in this area. I'm like have them respawn.
Exchanging fire!
Wait. Is there a fight down here? I don't even have my headset on. I can't hear this. I'm just looking for these duplicate NPCs. There's a green, that big haired girl with the, yeah, there's one up there. And no, there's 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, now we're starting to see what I'm talking about. I saw the same kid like 5-6 times when I first encountered the bug with this setting, or how bad it can be with this setting, I should say. And I think the time of day is making it harder to spot them because, you know, everything blends in a bit more in the dark. But that was pretty obvious. Let's see if there's more of the same type. The same girl again with the gray or green, but the same, you know, same clothing, same little backpack. You know, you can see her walking up there. It's the same word. Even the bangles on their wrists. This Afro type outfit. And here we go. It's starting to get worse. So this is, I don't know if this is a bug, if it's intentional. It is doing what the setting says, but it's not that obvious. Like, they don't say duplicate NPCs everywhere. It just says at the expense of it boosts crowd activity at the expense of variety. And it's really weird that it does that. The way that it works. Like, I guess that would help with texture streaming to have less textures, but when you start seeing like the same NPC 5-6 times, it really feels like a bug. We'll go down here. Oh yeah, this busy area, we'll be able to pick it out way easier. When you see him walking in large groups, you'll really start to notice it. So down here, let's see.
Trust me.
Actually, this is where I first encountered. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. See the girl? So it's like a Matrix cat effect, like we start seeing in it. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope this explains it to you. So the solution for that is, if you do want to have minimal fast driving hitching, is to literally just turn the crowd density down, which isn't too bad. Like, it's not a bad trade-off to get smooth gameplay, but hopefully the autosave on its own does the job for you. But as for me, like on this setup, it seems like it doesn't make sense to handicap it too much. I just deal with the odd hitch. The autosave actually did make a big difference for me as well, because I noticed the 5-minute saves, and I'll just keep the crowd density turned off. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. As well, you can see my specs here. I might do like a free roam gameplay video where I just chill around. See if I can use my mod to slow down my walking. NPC speed a little bit, but I might do something like that, but I have to reload this now that I've enabled the mode. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers and take care. Bye.